why you keep restarting every single Monday. Stay with me and I will give you some tips so you stop doing this. The Monday illusion. What is this? The Monday illusion is when you are, let's say, on a Wednesday for me, okay? Could be a Thursday, a Friday, a Saturday, or even a Sunday. And you take this decision where you decide to start on Monday, whatever the project was. Let's say it was a diet. I will start a diet on Monday. Okay, so I can eat whatever I want now. I can eat an extra 10 slices of pizza, or I can do whatever I want. How about if you are doing, you have a big project coming up, or you know it is a task you have to get it done, but you don't want to do it. So you are like, okay, Monday. Monday, I will start new rules, new diet, new system, new trying everything, right? But I'm going to tell you, you are not that wrong, okay? So when we say that, it's almost like we are delegating the responsible or the things we want to do in that moment. We are delaying that and we are saying, okay, I'm not doing it right now. And I didn't do it like this last past week, but I have the intention and I'm going to do it on Monday, right? What about starting the next day, right? Why we don't start the next day or even the day after? Why we have to wait all the way until Monday? Because Monday is an illusion and we normally think like that. But I'm going to help you to break that so we can start tomorrow, no Monday. Okay? Well, tomorrow is Monday, but you get the point. Restarting it feels powerful. That's why we normally think we will restart and redo something the right way this time, this probably 20, 30 time, okay? Because that feels powerful. Always feel like you take responsibility. Not today, but you will do it later, okay? So then we turn into motivation. But what happened with the motivation? The motivation fluctuates, okay? Motivation is not always there. So when we feel powerful or want to do something, yes, we probably start something, but then halfway we lose that motivation and then we didn't finish anything. And then we ended up with a bigger mess than what you started with, especially if you are organizing your closet, is my case, right? So you have this big project, you take everything out because you saw a program and you are super motivated, you want to finish it, you want to, do that and wanted it to look like you saw on TV, but your reality is not that. Maybe because you have other responsibilities. So don't be too hard on you. So that's one of the mistakes we make too, is because every time we are not available to deliver something that we thought in our mind we were going to do it, okay, because we were motivated and we said we're going to finish the closet by, I don't know, 2 p.m. and then it's 1:30 and you have to go and pick up your kids or you have to go and do some other responsibilities, then you feel like you fail. You're like you're a failure. But that is not a reality. You're not a failure because you have to restart or because you have to um, come back with a different plan. And that's what you need to do. Before you actually relate on motivation, you need to have a plan. Because when you have a plan, you can follow it and you can have ideas what to do if that plan doesn't work the way you want it. We need to accept that big changes are overrated. Why? Because big changes need a lot of energy, okay? And we don't always have that energy all the time. So that's why we have to be more realistic when we set up goals and we set plans, what we want to do, how we're going to do it. And reality is like you have to compound these little things, these little steps you are making so you can have a big result, right? Because if you relate only on that, eventually your energy will be gone, and you're not gonna have enough energy to finish. Like we were talking about the closet, in 3 hours, where realistically you needed 5 or 6 hours because it needed more time. Okay, so when you do that kind of stuff, you have to be patient, and you have to be realistic, and you have to be better than do it everything at once. Maybe if you break it in little, in little steps, that will help you. How? Okay, so today, if your goal was the closet, you start with your closet. You start analyze what you have in there, okay, and what is the step you're going to do it. You're gonna do first the shoes, you're gonna do the purse, you're gonna do your tops and bottoms. You will decide that. But when you think like that, then the task, it doesn't look like it is a big giant thing and it's gonna take us forever, right? Then the other thing is you have to actually be kind and say, be realistic and say, yes, I can do this 20 minutes a day or a half an hour. Okay. And then keep up with that. Maybe one day you will miss it, but you come back the other day. And then by the end of a week, you will end up with your whole closet being beautiful. And if we apply that to our weight, it's exactly the same thing. You cannot lose 20 pounds in 2 weeks. You can lose 20 pounds in more time, okay? But probably if you want to lose 20 pounds in 2 weeks, you probably will have to starve yourself, right? And be miserable. So you don't want that. And probably it's unhealthy, right? So what you want to do is, what are the things, what are the pebbles I can do that is going to help me in the long term? Always, always choose consistency over intensity. It's not the same thing when you go and work out for 2 hours one time a week, because then you don't have energy to do anything after that, than you working 20 minutes every day for 6 days a week. Not only you will feel better and it will be more benefit, you will be happier and you will feel like you are doing something for yourself. So that's why I always recommend to not start something, a diet, a project, or anything. Okay, keeping in mind you have you know, a, a goal of a date. Let's call it a date. Okay, so let's say you have a date where you actually wanted to conquer something. Be flexible. Be flexible. Be realistic at the time where you are planning that. And then you never have to restart on Mondays. The only thing you have to do is readjust, not restart. And that way you can finish any project. Any project you want. Imagine you have 12 hours. You can work 1 hour and different kind of projects, and you can be a project too, taking a rest, doing things that you like, going out with your husband, go with your friends, Okay, so do not be too hard on you. And that is my recommendation for this week video. And remember, love, reset, and glow, and see you next time.